morning, Piggy.
Morning. It's a Monday morning. Y'all see this Tuesday. It's a Tuesday morning to you. Well, folks, I heard the results of that game this morning. The Eagles trounced on the Chiefs 40-22.
I was shocked.
Well, maybe Kelsey next year won't have Taylor with him and get that bad luck piece out of the way. Because it certainly didn't bring him no luck this year. That's pretty bad. Get trounced that badly. Dude, if you was going to go through that four-way, you should have went while I was waiting on that woman to cross.
Mm-hmm.
Wait until she was out of the way and I was starting to go before you act like you're going to start to go. Yeah, that's pretty bad. Saw a post on X this morning. Juanita Broderick. Don't know if there's any validity to it yet, but she said if it's true, it has need to roll. The FBI is the one been leaking where ICE is going to do their raids. So I guess that's another reason they're trying to slow walk Patel getting him approved. But he'll put a stop to that. That would be considered highly classified, top secret information. And it wouldn't be very many to know about it. Probably just Patel himself. And it'll eventually get found out who the league is. Hope they get slapped with a life sentence. Because that's trying to impede matters of national security. So, there's more and more come out. The billions and billions of dollars that are being siphoned off and have been found Medicaid, Medicare's had 100 billion or more?
Probably.
Siphoned off of it to go to other things, and that's why a lot of folks can't get health care that are on Medicare and Medicaid. They don't care about your health. They're siphoning that money off to do all sorts of junk it ain't supposed to be for. So
I say all the misappropriated funds they find and any they recover need to go back to Social Security and Medicare.
yeah, because that's why y'all keep getting messed up. Hoops y'all have to jump through to try to get any kind of medical care and then not get it.
Yeah.
Because they taking that money for other things.
That's why every time you get a Social Security raise, your Medicare goes up double.
So any of y'all wondering about that, well, it's another form of tax.
Yeah.
That they can siphon off. So if there's any of y'all out there more concerned with Elon going through finding that waste than you are where that waste is going, but you also complaining about not being able to get health care when you're paying for it, well, there's why. And you part of the problem because you're more concerned with the solution, being mad at the solution than you are at the cause.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that just messed up. I mean, anybody that's mad at Elon being able to go into those records and find where that money is going and finding out it ain't going where it's supposed to, And then they want to keep charging you more and more taxes to keep funding it more. Y'all more mad at him because he's finding it than you are at those that are wasting it. You're part of the problem.
Well, you can tell up there who's getting the kickbacks from everything. It's all of them that's a shouting and a hollering.
Well, like Schumer. He's up there holding up a cerveza and an avocado, talking about those tariffs was going to cause the cost of your beer and guacamole from Mexico costing you more. Well, Schumer, tell me that the cartels have got you in their pocket without telling me.
Well, you know, there is such thing as American-made beer, and you don't gotta have to have guacamole.
Right.
And if you do, you can always get them avocados from California when they in season.
Yeah, I was growing up. A little bit of meat, some cream taters was pretty good. Some beans and cornbread was pretty good. Yeah, it's nice having different flavors and tasting different dishes and all like that. But when you support other countries and not your own, you're part of the problem. So it's another reason why I say Americans are weak. They don't know how to sacrifice. They don't know how to buckle down anymore and do what needs to be done. You know, I mean, seriously. That's why I say Americans are weak these days. Those are first world problems, and not only is that a first world problem, that's too much of a first world problem.
But like my granddaddy told me, the reason he don't like black-eyed or didn't like black-eyed peas, he said when you eat them 3 times a day for weeks on end, he said you get to where you don't like them. He said,
right. But
you eat them because you got to survive.
That's right. It'll fill a hole. You know, I mean, Great Depression. There'd be a lot of folks from that era would look at y'all folks today and go, oh my God, we've raised a bunch of weaklings. They ain't got sense enough to know that evil exists and they're helping to pay for it like a bunch of idiots. But you can't conceive of that kind of evil. You can't conceive. Folks, we are the honeypot. And everybody in the world wants part of that honeypot. So when you're trying to be generous, when you're trying to be compassionate, when you're trying to have sympathy, empathy, and all that other stuff, for poor people around the world, you neglect to see the poor people in your own nation. You neglect to see the homeless. You neglect to see kids going hungry at school. That's why they go to school, so maybe they might get a lunch. They ain't gonna talk about it. They know they got a hard time. They know they got a hard life. But, you know, they don't want to let on because they don't want to be embarrassed. But you can see telltale hints of it, and then you wonder why.
To me, that's part of what's wrong with the education department right there. You expect kids to go to school, but yet if they don't have something to eat or don't have money, parents don't have money to pay for it, you expect them to have less than what others have when it comes to eating.
But here's the thing, all right? People want to make all sorts of posts about being aware of this and being aware of that.
Yeah.
Depression being one of those things to be aware of, you know, looking for the telltale hints. I did an experiment a few years ago on Facebook, folks. I put out post after post after post. I had those posts chock full of hints and indicators of full-on depression. got a whole lot of agree with that type of reactions and all like that. Like I was just doing a public service announcement on things like that. When I was portraying someone who was in depression, they did not one person pick up on that. And it was the ones who were posting about being aware of depression. Not one person picked up on it. What does that tell you? Oh, he just posted something about what I was talking about. Oh, I just appreciate that so much. Put a love button on it. That's how blind we are to things that are actually going on. You're not looking for the indicators. Everybody thinking I'm just a happy-go-lucky little guinea pig. You know, I have fought depression in my life. And with a whole lot of God's help, I won. I still get hit with bouts of it, but I remind myself why I'm here. Another thing. A lot of people like to sit around those things. You know, if you love God or you love Christ, you'll share this. That's a nice little thing to it at the bottom. If you're not ashamed, you'll share. Well, I got to prove to you what my faith is in God. All that thing is doing is playing on your fear of not being what others think you should be with God. That leads back to what Jesus said. They have their reward, the respect of men. That's why I will not share those. It's another psychological game to get your mind off of God. And you're just doing it because you're afraid that others will think that you don't have faith in God, especially if you're a Christian. Only one I got to prove my faith in God is God. God knows my heart. I ain't got to share a Facebook post to prove that I have faith in God. I am a walking, talking, living miracle many times over. I know it. I've talked about it. Well, truck, I know you'll have a harder time getting going, but maybe you'll get going. You saw me coming, you pulled out anyway.
Well, yeah.
But you know, that right there, you'd think I was the problem. He's the one that created the problem, but he look at me like I'm the one that created the problem.
Yeah, because there ain't nothing behind us. We could have went on a couple seconds.
It's not like I'm pressed for time or anything. It's just the point of the matter. I'll tell you another one. Amy, don't hate me. Temu. I do not do Temu. People hit me up in messages, want me to help them out and get a deal by signing up to Temu. Temu first come out, folks got it. They figured out they didn't like it. They tried to get rid of it, locked their phones up. They had to get new phones, everything. Because Temu had their phone. And Temu is exactly what they tried to make TikTok out to be. It is a direct line to China, China to keep track of you and what you're doing. What on earth they could possibly get from me, I have no idea, but I ain't gonna give them a chance to find out. But I ain't gonna do it. And if you get a mind to send me a message, want me to help you out, get a deal on Temu, I'm going to tell you, sorry, not sorry, but I do not do Temu.
That's what I do. I just tell them, no thanks, but no thanks. I don't do Temu.
They got over it, but I had one message me with that very thing, and I had to tell them, I said, I'm sorry, but I don't do Temu because it is exactly what they tried to make TikTok out to be. The only reason they tried to trash TikTok was because, number one, the T-Man was getting some good traction with it, and number two, the right people weren't making a lot of money off of it. They didn't have no control of it. And that's more the point, even more so than the money. They weren't in control of it. So they tried to make it out like it was a Chinese spy tool. When Temu's the actual spy tool, you don't hear them saying nothing about it.
Temu and Shein, and there's another one.
You know? So, I don't do Temu. So, and I ain't gonna do it. But that one that messaged me, they mad at me for a little while. Know how I know? Because it's one of the ones I send that little daily thing. When I do a Snapchat, I take that picture and I send it to a few on my Facebook Messenger. There was days on end after I told them I don't do Temu that they did not respond to those little messages at all. They finally started responding again. So I guess they got over being mad at me for it. But I could tell. That's one reason why I tell folks, boy, you must really be in a hurry.
Yeah.
Now you gonna block me being able to see. Dumbass. Sorry, folks. I may get Elaine to help me bleep that out.
I ain't worried about it.
Then again, I might not. Because if you be in one, you be in one. And she would be in one. I had to wait for her to go ahead and go on and do what she was going to do because she was blocking my view, being able to see all that was coming.
Probably a teacher running late for work.
Well, she had a sour look on her face.
When I say running late, school starts at 8 o'clock and not even a quarter mile down the road from there.
A lot of them overpaid to teach nothing. Or to teach things that should not be taught. Yeah, sorry, not sorry. I don't feel sorry for you.
Need to be more teachers like some of them I had in school.
But, you know, I tell you folks, y'all tell me things without having to tell me things. I notice things. I see things. You don't have to use words all the time to tell me anything. I look at your body language, tone of voice, situation, you know, the hem-hawing around, and all like that. There's a ton of things that I see and notice that tells me what you really think. I can't prove it. I couldn't confront you with it because the first thing people are going to do is deny, deny, deny. And that in itself is a telltale indicator because of the way they deny. Like Bernie Sanders when RFK hit him with the fact that he was a top paid politician by pharmaceutical companies. I thought that man was going to have a heart attack out there on the spot. He told on himself. If he tried to defend it, oh, it's contributions, it's contributions. Well, if it was contributions, you wouldn't have got that upset.
Pocahontas got upset too when she was confronted.
For the same reason, because she's the second highest paid.
And she was the number one on that ring, wanting him to make a promise that he would not accept any monies from the pharmaceutical companies, that he would not sue the pharmaceutical companies.
And suing them for doing wrong is exactly what that job entails.
Yeah.
So, you know, I'd lie to him and said, nah, I won't sell.
I wouldn't lie to him.
I would have. That way they get the confirmation over more quickly. And when I got in there doing the job, start suing them.
Then they'd call him out on being a liar, and I wouldn't want that. Not for him. So listen, if you got a problem with it, that just shows that you are taking the money and don't want your gravy train stopped.
Well, that's true too. But, you know, me, I just told myself, yeah, I did that. That way, make sure to get that confirmation done more quickly so that I can get in there and do the job that President Trump wants done. I mean, look at you. You lied to get a free ride on college, claiming to be something you ain't. But anyway, for those of y'all who are Chiefs fans, I'm sorry.
I'm not.
You know, hate it for you. Maybe y'all can tell that Kelsey or whatever his name is, to leave that thing he's dating at home. Keep her away. Keep her a few states away from the football field when they play in a major game. I saw that last night too. With that, oh, they booed her bad, and I don't blame them. She's trying to fit into a crowd that she thinks is a bunch of stupid deplorables to begin with. Why you want to be here? Watch your feller play. How many fellers you done had and they done hit the road jack? There's got to be something wrong with it.
Well, you know, they say 90% of her music comes from writing about her past love lives.
Right. So I just, you know, who'd want to be fodder for her next song? You know what I mean? And she's probably everything that was wrong with it, and she's going to make the song sound like she was done wrong. That's another part of what's messed up with folks these days. They don't see things right, and they don't want to take no accountability and responsibility for their own actions. Y'all think about it. Piggy loves you.